One. This is Two Balls and a Mic, and we have our first two-time guest. We look a little better than we did last time. This time there's actually two of us and Two Balls and a Mic. But we want to go ahead and welcome our first two-time guest here, the great and powerful morning producer for the Extra 1360 morning show with the guys. The guys. Please welcome Mr. Ben Fletcher. How are you doing, Ben? Salud.
What's going on, gents? How are we?
Good, good,
Modelo
man. Do you like Modelo's?
I like Modelo's.
Yeah, Modelo's nice. Why Modelo today? I know, last time we talked about, your unlocking of knowledge about San Diego and their beers and how great they are. But you know what? A good Modelo is not that bad.
Honestly, they're my leftovers from the bachelor party. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you didn't know, Mr. Ben over
going
here
through the fridge
is soon to be a mister with a wedding band on. Congratulations to you. Obviously, it was supposed to happen, but you're one of the many thousands of people who had a lot of things not go their way because of the pandemic. But last time we talked with you, it was the beginning of the pandemic, and we thought it was going to be just a couple weeks. We were suffering through no sports, but we've made it not through the pandemic, but with there being no sports. How has, the ramping back up of everything, from football, NFL, the Aztecs work at the flagship over at Extra 1360. Everything seems normal in the sports world in a way. How's the ramp up been for you guys?
It's just great to have them back. I mean, those were some rough times when it was quiet. And it's really cool being able to have something to come in and talk about every day and not have to worry about coming up with some fart segment. So we're just really appreciative. People figured out a way to do it somewhat safely. I mean, you look at the NFL, they powered through and didn't miss a game. So it's super impressive.
No, and I mean, I like it or not, because it's a little questionable how they handled the NFL the season and just powered through. If there was a league to do it, it was going to be the NFL anyways with that backing. But here we are, last game coming up on Sunday in the morning. You guys were talking about how it almost didn't happen. It was just almost happenstance that we're having the Super Bowl happen this year on schedule. Did you think we were going to make it on schedule through the whole thing? Did you think, halfway through maybe it was going to blow up?
Honestly, I thought the only reason it would blow up is if someone super significant had to miss any time. I mean, the most significant person we saw was like a Broncos quarterback, and Lamar Jackson missed a game. But at that point, the Ravens weren't really set up for a playoff run. So, yes, I knew it was going to finish on time. I wasn't super hopeful about the playoffs because teams refused to bubble, and I thought that was idiotic. But hey, I guess their protocol worked. They figured it out. Even when they had their close call this week with the haircut, their protocol still worked perfectly because that guy got the 15-minute test. They figured it out. Only 2 players got close contacts. And if you think about it, I gotta think they were being smart about it, putting 2 less important people first in that line and putting Patrick Mahomes near the end.
Interesting. It is.
So they had time to wait for that 15-minute PPR test or whatever it is, PCR.
What was your take on before when the Kansas City Chiefs were gonna play the Bills? I know they were saying, "Oh, we should postpone the game if Mahomes is still hurt." What was your take on that?
I don't know about if he was injured, but if he had any reason to miss because of COVID protocol, I still, even if something came down tomorrow and he tests positive, I think they should push the Super Bowl, honestly. Because I think you got to treat it differently than an injury because we've treated everything different in 2020 and 2021 now. So I honestly do think if it were to come down that either Mahomes or Brady had a close contact or had a positive test, either the NFL would lie about it, which wouldn't shock me, or they would push the game to next week or the week after that.
Yeah, I feel like they would lie about it, honestly.
They would lie about it.
The sad part is, would we really care if they lied about it?
They would lie about it and everyone would be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the issue. We're the consumers, and we say we care about player safety, that we care about CTE and all that nastiness, and here we are buy into the product. But that's, a byproduct. That's a whole different discussion. Obviously, it is different this year. You have been at Radio Row for the past couple Super Bowls. So it's vastly different. One, you're not there. But last year you were also in Florida for the Super Bowl in Radio Week. So how is that? We talked with Mr. Matt Scraby about it too. How that whole experience is just pandemic. A pandemic. Oh, geez, it's a pandemonium. Jesus.
It's also a pandemic.
It's also a pandemic. But I mean, what was that like last year over in Miami for that Super Bowl?
So Miami was insane. I think I might have told you this before, but as soon as we get there, we get off the plane. We're carrying 60 pounds of radio stuff with all of our own luggage. And we get to the convention center, which is massive and all the security and everything. And then realized I left the dolly at the airport.
Jeez.
So Judd and I just had to put everything on our back and walk it in. And so I'm drenched in sweat, and Miami's already hot as shit. And finally get in there, and I am literally just drenched. And who comes walking up? Miles Teller. So that was how I met Miles Teller, covered in sweat and saying what up. But it's so odd this year, especially if you see the pictures coming out of Radio Row, because it looks like a ghost town. And Ben Volen, the Boston Globe reporter's out there, he was just so lonely. So I don't know. I'm not super sad we missed it. It'd kind of be weird to get reinitiated into the world like that. So Radio Row could take a break, and then next year it should be up in LA, and that's going to be awesome. And all 3 shows will go next year. So
I think we have is this kind of what it looks like right now? Desolate.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so picture that, except everything is tables and there's no room, and it looks like a rave because everybody's just standing around. And the cool part about Radio Row is they kind of keep everyone equal. So even though there's celebrities walking around like Martha Stewart, Joe Montana, Snoop Dogg, all these people walking around, they're just one of you. There's no extra security detail with them or anything. So it's a super cool experience. I'm excited to get back next year, but all about safety. So
1000%.
Yeah. Do you have any other crazy celebrity stories that you have from Radio Row?
Well, I mean, I guess the craziest one would be getting wasted with Darren and Marty. So afternoon shows can go a little harder than morning shows, because we went out and Marty and Darren, those people can party. And so we were drinking a lot and hanging out with Rex Ryan for a little bit, which was cool.
Oh, damn.
All he did was continue to come down to the little hotel lobby we were in, go get his Uber Eats, and then walk past us, say hi, go up. Every once in a while, he'd stop and take a shot, not with us, but that dude is huge. He has the biggest pot belly you've ever seen. But it's kind of, that's how the whole weekend is. And then you run into different people in downtown Miami. But the next morning, goodness gracious, I'm up our time, 6 a.m. to go do the show. Nick has to wake me up because I'm brutally hungover. Hop in the shower real quick, and then we get down there, and I'm just totally out of it for the first thing. And then Darren and Marty walk in 3 hours later, like, "Oh yeah, we just woke up. How you doing?"
Just a brisk little power walk through.
Yeah, their chai lattes, they were all set to go, and I was just
beer for breakfast to sober up.
Yeah, it's midday at that point.
I could not handle food.
Oh man! And
then, after that, unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to, or fortunately, didn't get a chance to go into the actual Super Bowl. It's crazy that it was a year ago. We actually watched the Super Bowl together at Saquon, at Rank and File, with people. We ate at a buffet, which that's not going to be a thing.
Never again.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think about. But you're a 49er fan, and you've seen your team be in the position that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find themselves in. Just in Florida, staring down the barrel, and you have Andy Reid holding a brand new, shiny, healthy Patrick Mahomes with bazookas of ammo in there, with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. It's just crazy what Tom Brady's going to beat on Sunday. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think the game is actually going to be pretty similar. Like, I'm sort of changing my mind here, and I actually have the Bucks winning now, which is weird to say. But the biggest difference between the Bucks and the Niners last year, they run similar offenses. They're both creative. The Bucks have a ton of weapons. The Niners have a ton of weapons. Is they have Tom Brady. And so if they were to get that same lead that the Niners have, I don't think there's any chance in hell they give it up because Tom Brady can sit on the ball better than anyone in NFL history. So if the Bucks can come out to some sort of lead early and then hold it and start going into the fourth quarter with literally any lead, I'm giving it to the Bucks because Brady can waste out a fourth quarter faster than Mahomes can score touchdowns.
That's a good point. So, what's on the menu for your Super Bowl Sunday?
Good question.
All right, I've been thinking about this all day, actually.
Good question.
So, I think I'm gonna do a steak, like a big steak. Talking New York strip from Costco, and then loaded potatoes. So we got sour cream, bacon bits, chives, the works, just for the loaded potatoes, because that's Kendall's favorite. And then I'm gonna have the steak. And then one of the guys in our pod, he actually went to college with me, and he lives around here. He has a screwed up knee from skiing, so he can't do anything. So he just comes and hangs out with us. And he didn't eat meat all last year somehow. He's one of the Schaefers.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna try to convince him to have some steak. I don't think it's gonna work, so I got to figure out some veggies for him. You got any updates? One of you guys got to be vegan, right?
My sister's actually vegan. I think last time we talked about her and Schaefer being the type that pretty much graze. They don't eat; they graze.
I think I would die if I go vegan by now.
It's not too bad though. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of it is passable. It's passable. I would never pass up a nice juicy steak. I just got cast iron. I got 2 brand new cast iron pans. Oh, let me tell you, steak has never just smelled so good here
How
at
do
my
you
house.
season it? You use grapeseed oil?
So yeah, I mean, you got to take it out of the vac pack. You got to pat it down, leave it out 10 to 15 minutes, room temperature. It's kind of hard right now because it's been cold. Then I go ahead and put some avocado oil, Chosen Foods avocado oil, a little bit. Sometimes I do have grapeseed oil because it is cheap up in Convoy at the gallon. Shout out Convoy. And then you go ahead and
wash your cast iron, right? You just like cook it?
Absolutely not. You just
I've never
it's
had one.
seasoned.
I've always wanted one.
Oh, man. No, I know what I know what your wedding gift is. So I'm sorry, but now you know what your wedding gift is. All right, congratulations. But yeah, you don't wash it with soap. The first time is the only time you use soap on it, and then you go ahead and from then on just hot water with salt, some coarse salt, and you just rub it out, and that's how you then just dry it.
And so what's the advantage for food? Like why does it taste better on one of them?
Because it just cooks everything evenly, and the pan itself stays hotter. So for steak, what you do is it's almost instant. You can heat it up to a smoking point. Also, it's indestructible. You go ahead and just heat it up. You just throw a little bit of grapeseed oil. You put a little bit of butter, and then the oil doesn't let the butter burn. As soon as you put that steak on it, it sears it, and that crust on the steak is just unbelievable. You leave it on there 3 minutes, boom, you flip it over. Then that's when you put your garlic, you put your rosemary, your thyme. I like to make a compound butter where you have butter, you let it melt down a little bit so you can add some rosemary, some garlic on there, and then thyme on the butter, let it be there. And that's what you put on top of it. So then,
my guy, you watch TikToks, don't you? Because this sounds like one of those TikTok guys.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
It really does. I watch TikTok and I know exactly what you're talking about, and you should get on that.
I should. And
Dude,
you've
those
actually
TikTok guys, they'll make you mouth drool.
He's actually tried one of these steaks, and I mean, that's all I gotta say.
I told you, man. Tony's a great investment. Get some really good food out of him.
Anyway, for those that are watching / listening, you really want to go ahead and do that. And then also my favorite thing to do. This is so off topic, but here we go.
No, I like it.
Eggs, because they don't stick. A well-seasoned iron skillet never sticks. So you just put some eggs on there. You're gonna have the best sunny side eggs you've ever had. Or if you like scrambled, or you like an omelet, it just doesn't stick.
So you know what's crazy? I have a normal pan, and my eggs also don't stick.
Oh well.
So this is seemingly a little overrated.
Ooh.
Well, I can use mine as a weapon.
There's like brand new, like the new pans. They have that thing that just doesn't stick.
All right. Well, y'all can shove your non-stick pans, and I'll stick with mine. Get it?
I don't cook.
Anyway,
Been throwing everything on the air fryer.
So Tom Brady winning is something that I've been denying most of my life. I don't want it to happen. I hate it.
Instantly becomes the GOAT of every sport except Tiger's still above him. That's all I got.
Wow. That's, I mean, I have to almost agree with that. Let me just take into consideration the entirety of soccer. Pelé, Ronaldo, Messi. Yeah. I as a sports as an athlete.
American sports. The GOAT in America.
There's soccer in America.
Barely.
Yeah, exactly. You guys call it soccer, right? Everybody else has football. But hey, we're in San Diego.
Let me throw this one out to you because my buddy brought this up. Wayne Gretzky. Like when you talk about numbers, no one comes close to Gretzky.
Yo, yeah, but that's Canada.
Again,
That's
so,
Canada.
I don't know. I'm saying outside of Tiger Woods, Tom Brady's the greatest athlete of all time. Period. If he wins the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
The only
especially
reason,
because he'd be beating Mahomes.
yes, and the only reason I would want Tom Brady to win is the off chance that he just says, "All right, I'm calling it a day.
He won't.
7, and I'm
think
riding
he
to the
will.
sunset."
He will.
No chance.
That's what I keep telling Tony. You know, he's addicted to winning. He's addicted to winning. He feels healthy. He can go another year. He's gonna go at it.
I don't get it, man. I would retire tomorrow if I had half the money he had. And I guess that's what makes him Tom Brady and me Ben Fletcher. But, like, that dude seems like he would have the perfect life, right? He has a brand new yacht just chilling in his Tampa Bay mansion, a beautiful wife, cool kids who he kisses on the mouth, which is weird.
Definitely weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And that poor body, man. But we'll see. He's not going to retire no matter what happens. The one thing I will say, I know I'm predicting the Bucks win, but if the Chiefs win, Mahomes has a really good shot at catching.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, even then, like, if for the off chance that Mahomes wins another one, somehow decides to retire at 25, he's automatically in the Hall of Fame. Like, he's a Hall of Famer right now.
He probably already is.
Yeah. I mean, the Hall of Fame is tarnished, even with coaches, if you really want to think about it. The fact that before Tomlin, Bill Cowher, that should, I don't know if he was necessarily a Hall of Fame worthy compared to what happened after. Do you see Tomlin as a Hall of Famer, like a first ballot? Like, yes, absolutely, as he was.
He's got 2 Super Bowls, right?
True.
First black head coach to have extreme success in the NFL. Sustained.
Yeah, done.
I think he's probably already in, and even just having a head coaching job in the NFL for that long, that doesn't happen.
No.
True.
So, I mean, I'm going to say yes, Mike Tomlin's absolutely a Hall of Famer. If you really want to get into the discussion, Phillip Rivers.
I was going to bring that up right now.
Oh man.
What do you think, Tony? I know you love the Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he's my quarterback. I'm still hurting. Like, it's just, you know.
Is Felipe Rios a Hall of Famer for you?
Absolutely. Just a Hall of Fame person, just a Hall of Fame football player, just a Hall of Fame everything, man. There's nothing more he could have left on that field for us to even question the fact that he's a Hall of Famer. Maybe the fact that he didn't make a Super Bowl appearance, but that's another different thing. But the numbers, the everybody loves him. He was underrated his entire career, I think.
I saw a great TikTok about Phillip Rivers.
Okay. Oh.
It said, this guy said, you know what? I can't relate to Tom Brady. This motherfucker wins everything. Phillip Rivers chased the ring for 17 years and didn't win shit. That relates more to my life than relating to Tom Brady. I love Phillip Rivers. I relate to him. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben?
So do I. I think for the very fact that you said it, everybody loves him. And I think that out of anybody who's going to have numbers similar, so the Matthew Staffords, the Matt Ryans, assuming neither of those guys win a Super Bowl.
Matthew Stafford will.
But, we can get into that later. But I think more than any of those guys, he's going to have the people to back him up and the support from behind. And you're going to, like, Nick did that speech. I'm sure you guys saw it. Put it on his Instagram. We put it up on our website. There's going to be hundreds of those from his former teammates, former linemen, former coaches. And everyone's going to be saying the same thing, how he did actually change the game. It's not maybe evident in his numbers. He didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't leave behind this crazy legacy. He changed the way offensive lines played football. He changed the way quarterbacks call a game at the line of scrimmage. So I think you have to put him in. Probably not first ballot, especially if Drew Brees retires this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's, without a doubt, enough writers have enough respect for him, and he's been nice enough to everybody in his career. And like the things that people don't see, the amount of money he poured into this community, the amount of money he poured into Indy, I think that all factors. So yeah, he's in.
This dude could be losing by 20 points and still talk shit.
And still go out there and throw 2 more interceptions on top of the 3 interceptions he already threw in the first half. Like,
dude, new Chappie, nothing matters to that guy. It's all about what's next.
What's your favorite Phillip Rivers moment?
Kid number 5.
So I mean, I wasn't even like, I must not have just been as invested as I am now. But learning back on it, it has to be the ACL game.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has done something like that? That's the most like the only thing I can think of that's even close is that third baseman at Fresno State when they win the College World Series, who was playing with a like separated forearm and just hitting bombs the entire time. That's the only thing I can think of that's close, and no one even remembers that guy's name. So I mean, Phillip Rivers playing with a torn ACL, that's some next level stuff. I don't know what kind of pain meds he was on. They had to be gnarly. I'd like to try them. But that's just the ultimate teammate.
I mean, Matthew Stafford played hurt as well.
Relax.
And threw a touchdown pass.
All right, relax.
Right?
Okay, you were talking shit about Matthew Stafford when
Stafford
he wasn't your quarterback.
Literally the greatest quarterback in the
Was
NFL.
that he had a separated shoulder, right?
Yeah.
That's different than a torn ACL.
Oh, no, of course.
Yeah, how dare you?
That was, he threw he had one pass after that. Phillip Rivers played an entire AFC championship game.
No, Phillip Rivers for sure Hall of Famer.
Matthew Stafford's never won a playoff game.
He will now with this.
You know
new
who
team.
did win a playoff game? Billy Volek. Yeah, great name. But you're close to Nick, closer than most of us are, and you know, obviously the retirement of Phillip affected him, and you know, he's very cerebral as we've talked about, and very thoughtful. He had that great interview. It's a great listen. The first interview with Phillip Rivers post retirement, that is posted actually on with you guys, correct?
Yeah, so Nick has it on his stuff also, but he went ahead and shared it with me because he still has his page active with us. And I will tell you, I don't know if you heard it this morning, but that interview was the most clicked on thing in all of San Diego, outside of the top 45 stripper names.
Yes.
And the top 20 OnlyFans accounts.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That's tells you what San Diego is the top of mind.
San Diego cares about boobs and Phillip Rivers.
Absolutely. That, I mean,
Sounds about right.
look, our baseball players are getting stabbed at strip clubs, so in the pandemic, so it makes sense. But no, I mean, how have you seen Nick go through the motions of having, you know, pretty much his life partner on the field for his professional life, you know, essentially call it a day, and you know, obviously, you know, we're hurting, we're reeling from it. I can't imagine what he's feeling.
He's so happy for Phillip. It's really like the opposite of what I would have thought Nick would have felt like. But Nick knows how happy he is at this phase in his life, and the amount of time he gets to spend with his kids, the amount of time he just kind of gets to do what he wants and keep busy. And obviously Nick was finally able to drop all that weight, which he hated having on.
Mm-hmm.
But
and gave it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he has a new lineman lose like a lineman. I'm just trying to think about getting on it. It's a new program he has going.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm on the newsletter.
Nick just knows that these next 2 years are going to suck for Phillip because he's going to drive himself crazy not playing. So I think the coaching thing is going to be great. But on the other side of that, like financially, he doesn't need to do anything else the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
What else does he really have to give the game of football? I don't think the Colts are ready to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So
I think Nick is super happy for him, and I think Phil will be too. But it might take a couple years.
It's great to have that insight to that window so close to Phillip. Obviously, you know, Nick still is doing his segments with you guys and has been throughout this whole time. But getting back a little bit back to the big game, as we have to call it, because we can't say. I mean, I guess we can, right? We're not promoting anything. It's the Super Bowl. We'll promote the Super Bowl.
Ooh, blow dart.
Oh no! What are they gonna do? Shut down our?
But
podcast?
what are your favorite non-football related Super Bowl pageantry things? Like, are you a fan of the halftime show, commercials, prop bets? Like, what aspects of the Super Bowl around it are you always just pumped for?
Shakira doing the tongue thing last year was pretty sick. The la la la. But
see,
so in college,
both
and
of our
really all through my
girlfriends were
whole
there.
life. Oh yeah. I would do a huge barbecue for the Super Bowl and have everybody and anybody over, and we would have an awesome time. Now with the 4:30 a.m. wake up call, it's hopefully getting a good game out of it and getting to sleep early, but still cooking some good food. So I don't like this year. We're gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna let myself drink a little bit, try to wake up on time. We'll see. But I love the commercials, man. I'm not gonna have to illegally stream it this year because I'm an adult, which is cool. So I'll actually get to watch the commercials. Yeah, just the whole day is really an awesome day. But honestly, like I've said this for a long time, and it's an unpopular opinion. Give me the regular season NFL over playoffs any day of the week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the regular season NFL, especially now that there's red zone, is so much fun.
Yes.
God, give me like 12 hours on a Sunday where I do nothing but sit on the couch and eat chips and chew sunflower seeds. Like, yes, any day of the week over like 1 or 2 playoff games every 2 weeks.
I kind of appreciated this season because it gave us football on Tuesdays and on random days that we never have football.
Yeah, Wednesday night football.
It was nice. It was a nice change of pace.
Dude, I think it might have opened up Pandora's box. I think the NFL saw the numbers they got on those games and are like, why are we not doing this every year?
Yeah.
Another thing that might have opened Pandora's box, the NFL on Nickelodeon.
Oh,
I was a huge fan. I know you didn't watch.
I didn't watch it.
But that just
after a pattern,
revolutionized.
They won't though.
It just revolutionized the media of just NFL, just everything. Changed the game.
It was cool. Noah did an awesome job. Noah Eagle. And then even that gal, I don't know who she was, but the Nickelodeon girl, she was really good. She was like, didn't know what she was talking about, but she faked it well enough.
Yeah.
And I love Nate Burleson.
It.
I think that dude is so smart. He's fantastic on the morning show. You guys always listen to us, so you don't get to watch Good Morning Football, but we have it on every day during our show, and they're so good.
Yeah, and that's what we're working on, and hopefully we'll get Buenos Dias Fútbol Americano. That'd be great. Hey, why would we do that?
I love that you're trying to have everyone's things either flipping in Spanish.
That's the thing. When I've never heard of anything of fantasy football in español.
I've never heard of it either.
If anyone can do it, it's you. You guys just need a girl that's as pretty as Kay Adams. So good luck. There's no one.
Katia Adams. There we go.
Put a wig on Mike.
Yeah, Mike can do it. But no, it's.
Oh, you got. What are you cooking up?
Ooh, I had that question. I asked my dad that same question because I'm watching with my dad and my brother, and he said he wanted barbecue ribs. I was feeling wings, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It's gonna be whatever my dad wants ultimately. What about you?
I mean, I've been eating like nonstop steak, so I think I need to cool it. Like I need to cool it, like just a little bit with the red meat. I might go with the pasta. You know, why not? Why not?
Also, TikTok has a bunch of famous pastas. You gotta check it out.
I'll take the notes.
You need to get on. I'm telling you, you gotta get on TikTok, dude.
I'd be huge on it, wouldn't I? Or just to watch.
That's what every single person did in 2020, 2021. They download TikTok. You don't go to sleep. You just stay up scrolling.
Yep.
Getting that infinite thing.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how like great TikTok is.
en español. Got it.
That already exists.
Does it really?
There's a bunch of TikTokers from Mexico, man.
Well, I'm not from Mexico, and I speak Spanish, so it'll be great. So what should the losing team expect? The fan base expect after losing a Super Bowl? Fletch, sorry, I had to just have tear the Band-Aid off. The Niners lost. I'm sorry, it's a year removed. The Niners didn't have a much better season this season, but what should either the fan base of the Kansas City Chiefs or the fan base of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers expect after a Super Bowl loss?
Yeah.
They can expect to come back the next season, play the Jets in Game 2 at MetLife Stadium, have all their players get hurt because that field sucks.
Yes, that.
And then the year after that, win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Next year, Really?
Yeah, they were. I mean,
Who's
who
your
knows who the
quarterback?
quarterback's Carson Wentz, maybe. I don't
Hey,
know.
no, hands
Carson
off.
Wentz,
Hands
baby.
off. Carson Wentz
What?
stays in Philadelphia. I know he wants out. I know everything, the drama and everything. Sirianni's going to fix the boy, all right? He's going to fix
Sirianni
it.
can't talk.
He was nervous. He went the opposite of what happened up in Detroit with the kneecaps. He was like, "Oh no, I cannot do that. So I'm just gonna be robotic, tone it down." He just overdid it. And if he doesn't know how to talk,
He said
I'm
the talent will take
fine.
over. What talent?
Okay. Clearly you didn't watch Carson Wentz throw for over 500 to not a single over 500 yard receiver last year. Take that crappy ass team over into the playoffs.
I'm willing to
where the
bet
Dallas
you
Cowboys
right now that Jared Goff will have better numbers at Detroit than Carson Wentz at the
I'll
Eagles.
take that bet.
Ooh,
burrito bet, guys.
burrito bet.
Burrito bet.
Carson Wentz is going to kick Matthew or Jared Goff's ass for the rest of their careers.
It depends. Not
Carson Wentz is going to have the best turnaround of any court. He's going to win comeback player of the year next year.
Yeah, it's the greatest comeback since Lazarus. Just wait, and he's a very religious man, so that's just gonna line up
Will
right
his
with
start
him.
over Hurts though?
Yeah. What? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Hurts.
yeah.
Hurts. I was okay with Hurts because I'm like, okay, we're mimicking what they're what the Saints are doing. It's like Taysom Hill. This is where the league is going to have that super diverse quarterback who can run. Wentz, if he needs to do a quarterback sneak on the one, you know what? Just throw the kid out there. That's how Carson Wentz tore his ACL against the Rams. So let's not risk it. It's not the same. Let him do the talent. Let him get you
I was
there.
just trying to talk shit.
That's going to be really weird, Carson Wentz starting over Jalen Hurts when he's not going to be an Eagle.
God damn it.
Facts.
I don't see any scenario where he's an Eagle next year.
I mean, it's just
Where do you see him going?
Niners.
Colts.
Patriots.
it's just so many openings. It's great.
I mean,
No,
Colts would
Patriots.
probably be number one, right, with Frank Reich, but I don't know. Whoever has the best first overall pick, so Niners.
I heard Deshaun Watson's interesting in Denver.
I mean, Denver's
That is such a weird fit for me.
yeah. That's Denver is like
So
a
young
quarterback
core of receivers.
graveyard at this point.
Young core of receivers though.
But why would you want to move into a division that already has Justin Herbert and
Exactly.
And
Patrick Mahomes?
lose to Patrick Mahomes
Yeah,
twice
Exactly.
a year.
I don't see him going to Denver.
I mean, it's going to be really fun. This offseason is going to be great. You have still have Trevor Lawrence coming in, Urban
Dude,
Meyer.
Bill is going to do something. Bill Belichick is going to do something.
Yes, yes.
You know how many
And-
picks the Patriots have? I don't remember the number is, but it's massive.
I think Tony called it in an episode, and he said Andrew Luck is going to come back to the NFL, and Bill Belichick's going to pick him up.
I mean, the Colts would have to release him
Yeah.
and be okay with it. And so, but I think the Colts have a good team to where they would say nah and keep him, or
They would keep him.
something. Yeah, they
But
have to.
also, Naheem Himes was on somewhere yesterday. Their running back and said he's not coming back.
Yeah, and that's Naheem Hines. That guy saved my fantasy season in a couple leagues.
You sucked at every single one of your leagues. Though.
Shut up. It gave me hope.
That's weird. I won, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
We have a champion in our throws here.
I will say Carson Wentz is my dynasty quarterback.
Mhm.
In that league, I did not do well in, but I'm really relying on him to make me some money.
Well, we were the champions of our own league.
Yeah, no, we had a 2 balls in a mic league, and it was set up so the winner would be a listener, and the winner would get a jersey from NFL.com.
We tried really hard to not
We
win.
really tried not to win, but we ended up winning. If everybody was supposed to get the cheapest thing on NFL.com,
They will get it. They will.
They
get
will.
it.
They were gonna get them the nail
No,
stickers.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I want to just again, this Sunday is the culmination of a season that I would say, well, in a way, shouldn't have started because it's dangerous, whatever you want. But we got through it. Fantastic, great. Are we going to be here, and is it going to be any different for next season? Do you think?
God, I hope not. There has to be. I don't know, man. Can you picture going into a stadium?
At low capacity. I mean, if there's 100,000 seats, if you
No, I'm talking about like a packed
Like a
stadium.
packed stadium?
When could that possibly happen?
no,
When can a concert happen ever again?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
Not,
don't.
not in America.
Yeah, let's go
Definitely
watch the
not in
NFL in not America.
I can see
It's
myself
gonna be
going to a
weird.
rugby match.
I'm really curious to see what 20,000 is gonna look like this weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like only 6,000-7,000,
It's
but it
20,000, yeah.
ended up being like 6,000-7,000 essential workers, and I'm like, that's great. Like it's only essential workers that get to go in.
And then they add like another 20.
20,000? What are we doing? No, and they're asking people to like not yell and scream. Like, what do you? Yeah, do that. Just cover yourself up.
Yeah,
It's the money,
Tom,
man.
no.
It's the money, man.
It's man. Speaking about money and big things happening here in San Diego, there is a person that deserves a lot of money. Young man, cover boy of MLB The Show 2021, the man, the myth, and future legend, El Bebo Fernando Tatis Jr.
Nice.
It is great to be a San Diego Padre fan, and it must be fantastic to be able to just be so close to what is poised to be a great couple years here in baseball in San Diego. What do you think of Tatis and this explosion of talent that just has blessed San Diego?
It's Patrick Mahomes in baseball, if everything goes right.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you think, like, the similarities are absurd, that both dads played Major League Baseball. Both guys were around pro sports from the time they were super young, and both of them have this, like, poised composure that they're already leaders the second they walk into the league. And it's like, before you even know they're talented, you just know all their teammates look up to them. And it's a pretty amazing thing to watch. Someone this young, like, you see his, like, the shaved head photo of him when he was in Padres AA ball, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see that turn into what we have now, which is this supermodel of a human being with like an 8-pack and like cover of MLB The Show, which now I have to buy a PS5. So,
or an Xbox, because I guess they have Xbox, but
I'm a PlayStation boy.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
But being a Padre fan, probably for the first time in a lot of people's lives, at least since Tony Gwynn was a Padre, is a really cool thing to be right now. And that's a pretty awesome thing to say is I cover San Diego sports. You guys cover San Diego sports. Because there's going to be just, no matter what, football season, basketball season, anytime is Tatis time. And that's a blessing. So I'm really glad he's here. I'm glad hopefully he's as good as we think he's going to be.
I love Tatis, and the only thing I do hate is having to watch such talent not win anything with the Padres, man.
Hey,
I mean, you guys are behind the Dodgers all the time.
Hey.
I don't know, man. I feel like
that's fair.
He would look better in the Dodger blue.
What have the Padres shown us that shows they're any way closer to the Dodgers?
I mean, you should be scared. You should be shaking your boots up in Chavez Ravine. Just like y'all better wait. Just you wait, all right? And we don't even have our entirety of the stable of pitchers ready and healthy this year.
I've heard Clevenger being out so many times already from your mouth.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be out. He'll be back though. But don't worry. We'll scare you a little bit this season. Honestly,
I hope so.
What is your expectation for a successful season for the Padres this upcoming season?
So last year, essentially what we saw was a hot month. They didn't do anything, in my opinion, all that impressive outside of the playoff series. Every team gets hot for a month. We saw it 2 years ago with the Padres. They were hot for 2 months to start the year, and then they fell apart. 162 was a marathon, and it's going to be weird to see what these guys can do over that time because we know what they can do over 60. And for the first half of 60, it wasn't anything fantastic. I think they were 14-11. So we'll see, man. I got high hopes. I think everyone does. You, Darvish, and Blake Snell are obviously huge. There's nothing in the bullpen that's overly impressive to me unless they sign back Rosenthal. So they got work to do still. I don't think they're done. I think something else is going to happen before the spring training even starts. But we'll see. If you get consistency out of Will, you get consistency out of Manny, and you get some form of Eric Hosmer returning to what he was as a Royal, you could have a really special year. But it's going to all depend on health in your starting rotation because that starting rotation, while it looks like it's been bulked up, is pretty fragile. One of those guys goes down. We don't exactly know what Nelson Lamet's status is. So you're really looking at 4 pitchers right now. for sure, and one of them is Chris Paddock. So
Yikes.
I think Chris is going to need to have a big year for him. I think they have a lot of faith in him, and that's why they traded away Zach Davies. I don't think they would have made that trade if they didn't trust Paddock. So we'll see what he can do this year because he's going to have to be big. He's going to have to hold down that 4 or 5 spot. I love Musgrove. That was their best signing.
Even with 2 pitches though, like that's the hesitation. Like I don't know. I follow Paddock's brother on Twitter just to see if I can get any insight as, hey, like, Eureka, we found another pitch. But that worries me, man. That just honesty worries me. What worries you as far as just overall the San Diego? I'll tell you another thing that worries me. We were talking about it. Tatis being healthy, like that's like that's the catalyst. If he's not healthy and he's not on this team, I don't even know if we're talking about a playoff team.
I know you mentioned him never playing in like a full season.
Yeah. No,
he's played the equivalent of 1 full baseball season.
Oh man, okay, that is something to be nerve-wracking about.
Yeah, in segments too.
I'm new to baseball, by the way. Like I don't know if you can tell, but I'm fairly new to baseball.
I don't know why the hell Fernando's playing. I get it that he's really important to the Dominican Republic, and it's really important for him to grow the game there. I don't know why the hell he's playing summer ball there or winter ball there.
Yeah, like
it seems like such an unnecessary risk.
Yeah, and it seems like that's just mileage on the body. And then there's the other side of like, well, he's getting more experience, he's getting at this, but it just takes one anything.
Yeah, to get hurt, and oh man, that would suck.
That'd be.
But that's also kind of what we love about him, right? Is he's trying to get the game of baseball to every corner of the globe, and he is the face. So it's kind of his value set. If he's not worried about making a huge contract because he got injured, that's on him.
So your team let the kids play.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I just, as someone who wants the Padres to succeed here and beat the Dodgers, because more than anything on this planet, I hate the Dodgers.
God, yes.
I would much rather see Fernando Tatis playing shortstop. Always. Forever.
And when he's not, throw Manny in there just for an exhibition. Just let him have fun in shortstop.
I actually always thought it would be kind of cool to see a Manny shortstop, Fernando second.
Yes. Yeah, and now you have like you can throw Cronenworth on third. Like, why not? Like just Profar. Oh, man, this team is just.
I need to learn all these names.
You will. There's going to be a point where I am never going to forget a single name on the roster of the 2021 World Series champion Padres. And you won't either.
Wow.
2022.
2023.
22.
21.
World Series champions
Padres in the next couple years. How about that?
Yeah,
that's
good.
Fair enough.
So here's the thing with AJ Preller getting extended, we're going to know really fast whether that was a good extension or bad.
Yeah.
Because he's basically got 3 years to make it worthwhile. Because once all those pitching contracts are up, they're not going to have another year spending like this. There's so much money coming out of Peter Seidler's pockets that even if he's rich as God, which he is, it's dumb business to keep spending like he is unless you win. So, there's a World Series hanging up there at Petco Park in 3 years. Then the Padres could be set up for a really fun 10 years. If this doesn't go well and say there's an injury, say they only win 70 games one of these 3 seasons, might have to hit restart.
So I want to ask, how, for baseball compared to other sports, is baseball more predictable to guess who's going to be the World Series champ, who's going to get there more than any other sport, would you say?
I don't think so, just because there's so many variables in baseball and there's so many just hot streaks that people get on. And the example, like the Nationals, when they won it, they shouldn't have won it. They lost Bryce Harper, then what we thought was going to be the face of baseball. It's just.
And through the first 50 games of the season, they had the worst record in the MLB.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
baseball's weird. Basketball's the easiest to predict by far. Because I can tell you right now that the Lakers are going to win the championship this year, and I don't really have much of a doubt there.
No.
But baseball, in the series, the playoffs, the way they're structured, like the 3 years out of 5 that the Giants won the World Series, none of those years they had close to the best team in baseball.
Wow.
And that's just weirdness in baseball. People getting hot at the right time. Like Cody Ross, who had such a forgettable career, was absolutely on fire for one of those World Series. So it's who gets the bat going at the right time, what pitching combination works the best. That's the one thing you can kind of tell is usually the team that has the 3 best starting pitchers is going to win the series.
Okay.
So, for the most part, unless one of them has a bad game, which happens all the time. So, yeah, baseball is probably the least predictable outside of the NFL because that ball bounces weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, baseball is special when it comes to playoffs.
Football's predictable. It was always Tom Brady, and now it's Patrick Mahomes.
Well, it's been predictable for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Before that, it was impossible.
Yeah, and then if I was to be, devil's advocate, there was a period of time where if the Yankees made the playoffs, it was like, all right, like that maybe then because you kind of there were world beaters at that point. One of those years was 1998 actually.
I'm sorry, I know about that.
Look, it's gonna make the eventual championship that much sweeter.
I really hope so. I hope so.
What was that?
When was the Yankees' last one?
Last Yankees.
Because they lost to the Marlins, I think. Wasn't that the last time they were in the World Series?
The last time that they were in the World Series, they were in 2009, and they defeated the Phillies. That was Ryan Howard's Phillies, I believe.
Mariano Rivera was throwing that heat.
Yeah.
Actually, that one pitch that he threw all over.
Yeah, that just the splitter.
Mm-hmm.
That was a splitter.
So, Tony, Padres win the World Series. What's your outfit when you go down to Gaslamp?
It's very kind of you to assume that there will be any outfit at that point because I'm just going to be pandemonium, SD. I mean, I'm already brown. Just add the yellow and just take the night by storm.
Wear your DH Gate Tatis jersey as a headband.
No, yeah, a headband because those never fit. That pisses me off so much. Like, just make a universal 3X, 2X. Like, your 2X is medium here. It's gross.
We just passed the pandemic. Everyone gained weight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sketchy, man.
But no, I mean, it's one of those things where I think I would commemorate it with a tattoo, like somehow. Like, I think that does if Mexico.
That's
yes.
where the
home market.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 1,000%.
What would be the tattoo?
The entirety of the Padres 2022 roster. No.
Tatis right on your chest.
I mean, Bebo right across the chest.
Just El Bebo. And then go to spring training. Like I forget the young lady who got her head signed by Tatis.
Gina Grosso.
Yes, and just show up at spring training. Tatis. Bebo. No, I think a classy.
That'd be a nice way to get him on the podcast.
Or not, or just
scare him away
forever
to the Dodgers.
I mean, at the trajectory we're going, I mean, we're gonna be best friends.
I hope he doesn't sell out. I hope he stays with the Padres.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I hope he sells out to the Padres.
Oh, yeah.
We need to pay him.
You got your connection with Jace. You should be able to get down there in the clubhouse.
I've actually since then I've tried. I've sent that picture to many people and some people in the front office. I've made a LinkedIn and just kind of trying to go that way. No luck so far, but we'll get it. I'm for sure at some point it's gonna get it. I know it's hard even for you guys sometimes at the radio station to get access to the stadium when it was this last season that there was only like maybe one or two.
Yeah, I mean with the COVID protocols, I think we were only allowed one person per game, and if you know Marty Caswell at all, she was the one person. So, which more power to her. She does better with all that stuff than anybody.
Shout out, legendary.
Like it was the only times we ever got a chance to go was when Marty couldn't go. So I didn't even get to go to one. I think Judd went to one, Costa went to one. That was it.
I feel you, man. That's how we were with SD Loyal. Tony was the one that got to go.
But really, like, the only point I ever had of going to Padres games was the snacks.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, those spreads that they would put out in the press box.
Oh, I just meant in general.
Load up on nachos.
Ooh, nice.
Those tri-tip nachos, now you're talking about it, like, it used to be an event. Hey, we're going to go to a Padre game. Or are you going to watch the Padres? Nah, just to grab some dinner and with the side of a baseball game, maybe. Get your Phil's barbecue, maybe your Hodad, maybe, you're going light.
Now, tickets are about to be expensive.
Yes, like it. That's the one thing that I'm gonna miss about the Padres is those prices. It's like, or the empty stadiums where you can just walk back on the ushers for as much as they care for about their job. At some point, realize it's just not worth it and let you in.
It's like not only would it be more expensive because they're better now and they have a shot to do something, but also I think the pandemic is just gonna price out so many people when places finally open back up.
Everything's gonna be more expensive. Concerts, sporting events, everything's
going to the movies.
I miss that. I miss the feeling of like a premiere or something. Yeah. Sneaking in. No, I can't sneak in anywhere.
Also, just the movies that have been coming out are crap.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a good movie in forever.
When are we gonna watch a movie where people are wearing face masks in the movie?
True. Where we're just everybody's just wearing face masks. That's the thing. Like, it's some Black Mirror type shit where like it's gonna be some elitist thing where like the celebrities are the ones that you're ever gonna see without a face mask, and that's gonna be a status thing. Own island. Again, rabbit holes that just here we go. Yeah. You are a big fight guy as of like recently. Have you been following the UFC since Fight Island has come and gone? Are you still following it a little bit? Did you watch this last Conor match?
I did. I watched McGregor's match. That undercard was amazing. Conor's fight was whatever. But that was cool because there was fans. I think they had like 6,000. Yeah. And it sounded so loud. Mm-hmm. But they totally got me, man. Because they kept running that promotion for like 50% off for UFC 4. And so that's all I've been doing the last couple weeks is playing that video game. I'm not as into it as I was because other sports came back.
Yes.
Still super into golf. Today was awesome. I don't know if you guys caught any of it, but that's one of my favorite golf courses is the TBC in Arizona. And Xander Schauffele tearing it up.
Nice. Are you into boxing as well or just UFC?
Not really. I watched the Wilder Fury fight. And that's the last boxing match I watched.
Okay.
The one that's coming up, though, I think is the most important boxing match of all time. And I think
Who's coming up? Oh, are you talking about Logan Paul?
Logan, I mean, which of the Pauls? Because they're both fighting. Jake Paul, and then Ben Askren. What do you think about that? You're in what it was considered mainstream media, and then there's these non-mainstream athletes coming up and fighting mainstream athletes and beating them. I mean, Nate Robinson is not a boxer, so whatever. But granted, they're getting their share of the spotlight, and Joe Rogan is very good on the Paul brothers.
You kind of have to give it to them. They're making money.
Oh, at
the end of the day, that's all they're trying to do, make money.
I kind of feel the same way I do about podcasts because celebrities are now entering into the podcast world, and it's just easy money for them. But they're also taking away from people like you and Shiva who work really hard to get one up off the ground. So it sort of pisses me off that there's probably a ton of boxers in this world that have trained their whole lives to do something like this, and then because someone's YouTube famous and makes weird videos for 12-year-olds, he's allowed to come in and make $100 million off of a fight.
Then you have fighters like Ryan Garcia who came up fighting, nobody knew who he was. TikTok started, he started making TikToks, and now he's making a lot more money on TikTok, and now he's gonna fight.
That dude got creative.
Yeah, he's gonna end up fighting Pacquiao now.
Yeah,
which to me makes no sense. After he was calling Tank out, and then he didn't get the fight with Tank, but I don't know. Again, all about the money.
I love it. I love it. Like, why not?
It gives us a chance. Paul just gets his face caved in. Honestly,
I think that's what I think. That's
I'm gonna bet $100 on Logan Paul just because of those odds.
What are they at right now?
I think if you bet $100, you make like, I think 4K.
Fuck.
Jeez, it's actually like plus 4,000 right now.
Something like that. It's crazy. Like the odds were crazy when I first saw them. I don't know about now.
That's just a lucky punch. That's all it takes.
Yeah, but then again, it's against like the best of all time. Like,
but isn't that dude's like more of a wrestler, right?
Yeah, he's more of a wrestler. He lost his first professional fight against KSI, who is another YouTuber.
Yeah,
and it was just a terrible boxing match. But he lost, but he ended up winning with this fight. I think it's just more that Mayweather effect, where it's like he's just so annoying that you just want to just have his face punched in. but then he wins, or then he just comes back and does something better. It's just annoying, and that's what people want to see. They want to see them get their ass beat.
Yeah, I mean, for Mayweather, I mean, I wish Canelo would have fought Mayweather later, maybe more into like a couple of years after he fought him. I think he fought him way too young, because Canelo's probably the best boxer there is right now. But
the best thing in boxing product-wise is Rough and Rowdy that Barstool has. Like, have you ever seen Rough and Rowdy, Ben?
No, I've never heard of it.
So Rough and Rowdy is this boxing tournament that Barstool Sports puts on that is just your average Joe versus your very average Joe. It's your brother who was who was this former vet, Army vet, against the gamer little brother who thinks he's better and has always been mama's favorite boy. Legit stories. And they just let him have at it, and it's commented by Portnoy. The commentary table was Portnoy, Big Cat, and Bill Burr. Like,
that's nice.
Like that's just
those are all great,
right?
Put me in there. I'd fight. Tony, you want to fight?
I don't think you want that. I'm an elite athlete over here. I don't know if you've heard actually.
You're right. I've seen you block balls.
Yeah. San Diego Loyal's been at my door. Actually went to the offices today and discussed tactics, watching soccer with Landon. Exclusive.
You haven't penned a contract yet.
Too much. I'm
no,
asking
wait,
for too much.
Here's a soccer thing. They take you on loan.
Hey, I see you done.
Nice.
I see you done your research. We have loans. I think we're letting the Americans know too much.
I have no idea how it works, but
it's super simple. When a loan, say I'll try to do it in baseball terms.
Okay, no. Just do it in football terms. Let's say it's a Super Bowl, right? And oh no, Tyreek Hill goes down. What are we gonna do? What's so good? Hey, Seattle, can I borrow DK Metcalf? I'll pay his salary for the rest of the year, and I'll give you something on the side. Just let me borrow him, and then at the end of the season, he's back yours.
They usually end up taking like 60 or 70% of the contract to pay, and then what you usually get out of it when you loan a player out is usually you don't loan out players that you're not playing, just to get them out, like get the experience for them. And usually in those contracts, you usually want to make sure you have like the players gonna at least start a certain amount of games. So it's pretty cool. It's good business.
Dude, why doesn't the NFL do that? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's like pretty much even like in the NBA. Say you have a really good player behind a starter, and you're like, hey, we need this kid to get some minutes. We're gonna loan him out to another team. He's still attached whenever you want. You bring him in.
No.
Sometimes you have a loan with an option to buy. Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're loaned him out. We kind of don't really need him. If it works out over there, you have the option and first dibs to buy him.
Yeah.
We should start pitching that.
See, let me ask you something. How's the family doing?
Family, as far as
the Costa and Richards family.
Costa and Richards family, look, it's really strong. We have a little group chat, and they're we spend Christmas together. Essentially, it's weird because like we were talking back and forth. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Carolyn up in Toronto, I know, sent you a little package. I got a Toronto Argonauts hat. Shout out Carolyn, as obviously the Toronto Argonauts insider here in San Diego. We follow each other.
The sweetest person on the planet.
Oh, absolutely, man.
She sent Kendall like a Golden Girls face mask because Kendall's obsessed with Golden Girls. I don't know. That's a pretty special thing we had.
And you were a little bit of an outsider, but I had we drove together, carpooled, and you listened to the shows. I made you listen to the shows, and those shows were some of the best things that I've heard on radio. And I've been listening to radio podcasting for a while, and I kind of not even wanted to necessarily avoid it, but it's not a nice topic to necessarily think about because last podcast we were listening to, we were talking about, man, it was so great that everybody was able to keep their job in the pandemic, and it was so great. Obviously, Costa and Richards were let go from iHeartMedia because of no doing of their own. Shout out Costa, Richards, and everybody over there. But that's a big shift for you because you were left behind. Like it's like Harry Potter losing his parents again. Like you were just like, oh no, and then Uncle Steve and Ernie came in the morning, but take us through what shifts you went through and how you overcame and how we're doing right now.
Well, I mean, Steve and Ernie are just great guys, so it's super easy to kind of get back into a flow with them. But Judd and Costa are the best, man. It's heartbreaking still, and I'll always be really thankful for both of them because they just taught me a lot, and I wouldn't be where I am right now without either of them. And I mean, they're both doing great now. Like I still talk with them quite a bit. Obviously, it's different, but really, like the first day back, I didn't really have time to even think about it. It was just kind of like that Monday morning, I show up at work and they're not there. I felt totally naked. It was just weird. And I still miss Costa's goofiness every morning. And then Judd is probably the smartest person I've ever worked with in radio. Mm-hmm. Just the way he tweaks a topic, puts it on its side, kind of finds out something fun, finds out ways to get you guys involved. And so I'm trying to like slowly but surely build something like that back up. But I don't know. I mean, you guys gotta be into it also. So it's a tough thing to like do. We'll see. We're working on it. Hopefully there's a actual announcement soon of what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. This still isn't the morning show. Like typically you have months to plan something like this. And typically there's somebody else coming in the doors. Right now we're working with what we got because it is a pandemic and nobody really knows what money is going to look like once the pandemic's over. Mm-hmm. So totally uncharted waters right now. We're doing the best we can, but I am grateful that Steve and Ernie are the two guys who are there now. They're making it easier.
Like Steve is a master. Like, man, my God, that first show back, it was just masterful radio and just, how is it like working with such a professional? Steve has been working, I don't know how many years. Like he like went to high school with Al Davis or something. Like he worked with the Raiders, like when color television wasn't a thing or something.
Wow.
But Steve Hartman is just media personified. Like such a professional. What's it like,
he is into it? So wickedly talented where if he had nothing to be talking about, it would still sound good. Like he would still be able to sort of work his way through it. And that just comes with experience, man. And it's like, Steve will tell you, he'll be the first one to say it. There's nothing he likes more on this planet than the sound of his own voice. And that makes it really tough when you're trying to argue with him. Yeah. It's like sometimes I'll think I have good points to bring up and I'll be able to jump in there and get a jab at him. But even if he's not sure in his position, he can just kind of swing it. And all of a sudden it sounds like he wins the argument. So like I was playing something for Kendall the other night and I was like, oh my God, I totally won this little segment. And she was like, no, you didn't. It's like Steve sounded way better.
And that's like a standard of being able to just get in there and just create something seemingly out of nothing. Because I'm not too sure you're familiar with Steve, but this man works 7 days a week. Wow. Talking sports all the time, up in LA, drives, doesn't sleep. I'm pretty sure he's a vampire, but he just, a total professional, and his I'm hungry. His takes are just, maybe some are a little wild, and you guys clash. But yeah, I mean, it is different. As a listener, it is sad when something like this happens, but I'm glad that, you guys are getting into your groove and you guys can hear that. You can hear it through the airwaves, how you guys are getting to know each other a little bit more and getting more comfortable with it. And, we can relate to that because I was, again, listening back to our episode and early episodes. Yikes. Even now, we know where there's still a long way to go. But it's
compared to episode 1, shit.
Wait, episode 20.
Shit.
Not me.
No, see, you were the first standalone interview, and actually, fun fact, you were the first interview that was on audio, so on Spotify, iHeartMedia, and on everything. To this day, it's the most listened to thing that we've put. So congratulations, Ben. That's
why I'm the first comeback guest. Right?
We need the boost. We need the boost.
Yeah. We need the views right now.
But what's next for you? Are you doing anything as far as other than job related? Are you painting? Have you been underwater basket weaving?
Fishing.
I don't know. Fishing.
There's something in the works. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up or anything. Something's coming soon. But I'm at extra, man. I'm happy, and but I'm gonna start trying to add some more stuff on. I've been working with Nick on some things on the side, and then yes, I would expect something sometime next week from.
Let's call it fishing.
Let's call it fishing. I like that. We're working on some fishing. Hey, no, we're supposed to go fishing. Is that? That's the one thing that I want to still do is we'll do a fishing trip.
Please don't invite me.
What?
I fucking hate fishing.
What?
I'm horrible at it.
Dude, everyone sucks at fishing. Going fishing isn't to catch fish.
Yeah.
Going fishing is to hang out, have a good time, be outside, drink a beer.
Okay, see. Okay. That sounds
everything he
better.
hates.
That sounds better. Everything I hate. Going outside.
Going outside, talking to people, being social, enjoy the good old hours.
My brother lived in Canada for 6 years, and so they have these months where you literally can't go outside because it's just snow and wind and terribleness. But then that little 3-month window in the summer, everybody is permanently outside because they can be and they enjoy the vitamin D. So I think really we're spoiled here, man. Like this San Diego weather, I think we need more of a crappy season so we can appreciate how beautiful it is, because there's nothing more than I like sitting in a lawn chair, hanging out, having barbecue going, and I think that we probably need some more of that. There's a podcast sitting outside in the front yard.
1000%. We actually can take this podcast anywhere outside of the garage. So that's one thing we're waiting for, because since we started this podcast literally a year ago, we've never known what normal sports are like with this sports podcast.
Yeah,
which is insane.
That's gnarly.
But want to go ahead and ask you. I don't think I asked you this last time, but did the golden ticket question? Correct.
No,
Cool.
Ooh.
Perfect. So say you have a golden ticket, right? Willy Wonka style, open a chocolate bar or whatever type of thing, and boom, you can go ahead and have a ticket to any sporting event in history. You can go live. What sporting event do you use your golden ticket for?
Just because I heard Al Michaels say it, it'd be ringside at anything Mike Tyson ever did.
Oh, wow.
Or Muhammad Ali. Either one of them. Put me ringside at one of their big fight nights in Las Vegas. I think that would be absolutely epic. Maybe the Niners' last Super Bowl win with Joe Montana.
Oh, nice.
As long as I'm on the 50-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
But
yes.
Yeah, I think ringside at a boxing match would be number one, honestly.
Wow, that's a first.
That is a first.
It's a great answer too.
Hey, you never know. You still might have a chance to be ringside out of a Tyson match. This was still going. Like, it's insane. But definitely we want to go ahead and thank you, Ben, for joining us first 2-time guest here.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the last either.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
But want to go ahead and let the people know exactly where they can go ahead and find you and follow you.
Is that me? At Fletch Sports on Twitter. Listen to me mornings from 6 to 9 on Extra 1360. And something's happening next week. That's all I got.
I love it.
A little bit of fishing.
I love it. Really appreciate it, man. Go ahead and stick around. We'll do a little follow-up. Gracias. Kill that beer, man.
Enjoy the pump and listens.
Thank you.